today's video is going to be a little bit different. Today I just want to share some of the daily mindful choices that I make to kind of stay proactive with my health. This video is sponsored by Noom, and it's helped me break some of my bad habits, and most importantly, it's helped me have a healthier relationship with food. So I'll get more into that later, but for now, I'm gonna get up, wash up, and make some coffee. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so I just want to kind of talk about my health in the last couple of years. My health was never really a priority until later on in my life. I feel like as you get older, you start to realize the importance of taking care of yourself and being good to your body. I struggled a lot growing up with body image, which ultimately made me have a not so good relationship with food. I kind of would just eat whatever I wanted without thinking about the way it would make me feel. I also was a heavy smoker, and I recently quit, which you guys have kind of heard me chat about in my vlogs, but it's been over 2 months now, which is insane. It has done a lot of damage to my body, and now I can really focus this time on healing the 6 to 7 years of damage that I've done to my body. I just came to a point where I really wanted to make more conscious and mindful decisions in my day-to-day life. I've also realized how important it is to have a routine. Only with repetition can your good practices become habitual. I do want to note that I am far from perfect. I am not this like super fit by the books kind of gal. I know everyone's lifestyle is different, and so I'm just sharing my journey and my experience. And hopefully you guys can either get inspired or it'll motivate you to make more mindful decisions on a day-to-day. So let's talk a little bit more about the Noom app. Essentially, it's a behavior change program that uses science and psychology to help people live healthier lives by breaking their long-term habits. As a result, a lot of people were able to lose weight by doing the program if that was one of your goals. And you're really able to start seeing results by spending less than 10 minutes a day with no time-consuming exercise plans. Now, the reason I wanted to join Noom was not to lose weight, but to better my relationship with food. Also, just to have a better understanding of the foods I'm consuming and having a food diary, a place where I'm able to track back if I need to. When you create your account, you fill out an online evaluation form that helps Noom better understand you and your goals. From there, they create a custom plan for you. And it's not like this quick, short questionnaire. It's actually very thorough and detailed. And they base a program around your personal habits and behaviors so that it's easier to stick with once you have reached your goals. My very first day joining Noom, the lesson was so simple, but very necessary. The lesson talks about the importance of believing in yourself. Very basic, very simple, but I feel like oftentimes we never reach our fullest potential because we are the ones holding ourselves back. So it's really just helped aid this journey that I'm on of self-discovery. So my favorite lesson on Noom so far would have to be the breakdown of behavior chains. It talks about how all behavior chains starts with a trigger that leads into a thought, and then an action, and then a consequence. So that in itself really helped me better understand my unhealthy relationship with food. Another cool thing about Noom is that you're assigned to a goal specialist, which is your coach. And so they're there to help and support you on your journey. Whenever I had a question or a concern about something, I would just message my coach directly on the app, and she was able to provide me insight that I wouldn't just get from being on the app. Keep in mind that it's actually like a real relationship, so you really have to do your part and spend a little bit of time connecting with your coach. It probably takes like a week or two, just depending on how responsive you are and how much information you give. All right, so now I want to break down the video in 3 topics. I want to talk about diet, fitness, and lifestyle. For each topic, I'm just gonna talk about where I'm currently at and just a little more in depth on my journey. I don't really have a strict diet. I've definitely tried a ton in the past, and for me, it's really affected my relationship with food and just like my overall mental state. I'm pretty comfortable with my weight, so my diet isn't really like catered towards losing weight. Noom recommends eating foods that have a low caloric density, which is something that I'm aligned with, and that's just how I like to eat anyways. So just to keep it simple, I just like to eat foods that make me feel good, also known as whole foods. Instead of like sauteing everything in a pan, try having it raw and whole. Like you always feel good after eating those types of meals.
For breakfast, I'm having coconut yogurt with figs, bananas, and granola on top.
So I'm pretty mindful throughout the week, but you know, when the weekend hits, I do like to indulge and live my life.
Oh yeah.
I'll have more than one cheat meal, you know? Again, it's all about balance. If you do end up trying out Noom, they have a recipe tab and it's filled with different recipes that are delicious. I tried a couple and I was pleasantly surprised. Do not sleep on that tab. I will say one thing that has played a huge role with just keeping myself accountable, knowing what it is that I'm consuming at all times, is by having a food diary. I have a pretty sensitive stomach. You guys know about my history with like gut issues. And currently I'm much better, but I do still struggle with like feeling bloated, or, you know, sometimes my number 2 could improve a little bit. I find that having a food diary is key, because when you're not feeling right, you're able to go back to the specific time, day, to see what it is that you ate, and you're that much closer to figuring out what it could be. So it's really important for me to have a food diary to see how different foods make my body react. So I was never into working out. Like, fitness was not even a word in my vocabulary. It wasn't until a year ago, I was traveling in Korea. I was eating so much on that trip. I just started to get really in my head about my body and like my relationship with food. So I promised myself that once I get back home to try out like high interval training. So for me, that happened to be CrossFit. And I immediately fell in love. I'm not saying it was easy. It was so hard in the first couple of classes. I literally wanted to puke.
That was by far one of the hardest classes I've ever had. I know I always say this, but that was by far the hardest class I've ever taken.
But I really got addicted to the feeling that I felt after my workout. It was like after every class, my body would just be thanking me, you know? Not only is it a physical thing, but it really is a mental thing as well. Like, it helped me release so much stress. I know that high intensity workouts are not for everyone. So even if it's not that, just moving your body at least 30 minutes a day is so crucial. Like, it's the best thing you could do for yourself, and the benefits are endless. But just to name a few, it reduces stress, increases productivity, boosts your mood, keeps your heart and blood flow happy, and boosts your self-confidence. So for my workout schedule, I like to practice high interval training 3 times a week, and then for twice a week, I like to do some sort of cardio. If you don't already track your fitness, I highly recommend tracking it. It's so great to be able to look at like where your BPM is at, how many miles you ran, or how many steps you took. Noom is able to track all your activity and connect with your health app, or if you have a Fitbit. I really like that because it just has everything in one place. When it comes to lifestyle, I do believe that it's very much a cause and effect. So if you live a very social lifestyle and you're going out partying every single weekend, then it will affect your health, you know? I'm guilty of being that person, and it definitely affected me, not only physically, but mentally. I really took a 360 turn on just my lifestyle. Instead of going out every weekend like I used to do pre-quarantine, I kind of like enjoy going on hikes and long walks. Hanging out with my sister. Does watermelon have a high caloric density or a low caloric density? Low. We're made up of 75% of waters.
Of waters, plurals.
Or cooking. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm just getting older. And don't get me wrong, I do break the routine sometimes, and I allow myself to do that because I'm human. But I make sure that I'm much more responsible with my actions and just have the mindset of getting back on track. All right, I know that was so much I just unloaded on you guys. Hopefully this inspires some of you to be more mindful about your daily choices. Thanks again to Noom for sponsoring this video. You can take the free online evaluation at noom.com, or the link will be down below. I love you all so very much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.